Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this is from the beautiful looking Elamite lady. She used to be on the Weon channel, but now I guess she's on this. But she's doing a very interesting segment that popped up on my news feed in this in the country of Italy, and it says shocking 10-second grope ruling goes viral. And this just so happened to pop up on my feed, and the reason why I wanted to do a video on this was that it's this type of sick and immoral vibration that's going to let women know in the very near future it's going to be very important that you have a man of the Lord. Notice I said a man of the Lord, not just any man, a man of the Lord. So we're going to let this, and I'm going to let this play all the way through, and then I'm going to get some scripture.
And now let's talk about 10 seconds. It doesn't sound like a long enough duration, but a lot can happen in 10 seconds. Usain Bolt can win the 100-meter race at Olympics. It will take him exactly 9.58 seconds to win the gold medal. An average pro can solve the Rubik's Cube. People have done it in far lesser time and broken world records. But why am I telling you about this? Only to reiterate that 10 seconds is a long enough duration and it can change lives. It is also a sufficient time to grope someone, to sexually harass them. And for those who are assaulted in merely 10 seconds, it could feel like an eternity has passed. Italy agrees with the sentiment, and as we speak, it is outraged because their court feels otherwise. Last week, a 17-year-old girl testified in court. Last year, she was climbing a staircase in her school in Rome. That's when she felt someone put his hand inside her pants. He groped her from behind. Before lifting her up in the air, she turned around to see the perpetrator. She walked away. The man chased her. He said he was only joking. The physical contact lasted between 5 and 10 seconds. Do you know who the accused was? A 66-year-old janitor in her school. The young girl took him to court over this. She accused him of harassment. The judges believed the student, but they acquitted the accused. The court found him not guilty of groping the student. Do you know why? Because the judges said the incident lasted just about 10 seconds. So it was too fleeting to be considered a crime. Plus his actions were simply meant to be a quote-unquote clumsy joke. So for these judges, this was a brief comic interaction. Even saying this feels appalling. So it's obvious why people are fuming over this court ruling. Not just Italians, but the world over, people are angry. And this has sparked a viral trend on social media. People are posting videos of themselves, where a stopwatch runs for 10 seconds as they look into the camera and touch a sensitive part of their body to show just how long and uncomfortable such an experience can be. Because groping someone in an institution that is supposed to protect children is not funny. And to acquit someone on the basis of their timing is unacceptable, but this is not the first such incident or the first such judgment. Italian judges have passed similar problematic rulings in the past. In 2017, for instance, a judge cleared 2 men of rape. They said the victim was too masculine looking to be a target of attraction. In another case, a judge acquitted a man of sexual assault because a woman did not scream during the attack. In 2016, a court in Sicily ruled that a man was not guilty because he groped female colleagues out of humor. Is it just us who are tone deaf to this supposed humor? Or is it the judges? Seriously, what are they thinking? Is this the Wild West, where apparently sexual assault is not good enough to deserve conviction? And let me tell you this is a problem the world over. Let me show you some government data. In 2018, only 0.7% rapes in the US ended with conviction for the perpetrator. In 2020, the same happened for only 39% of rapes in India. In 2021, only 1.3% rape cases in the UK were prosecuted. Crimes against women have always been difficult to prove. But victims face a tougher battle in court. The shocking lack of sensitivity. In 2013, a 14-year-old girl's rapist was acquitted in India because she did not, quote unquote, fight like a wild animal. Now, judges are not robots. They don't just operate devoid of opinion or emotion. But when their opinion is so controversial, why does it not get them in hot water? Maybe because victim blaming is deep-rooted in some societies. Despite legislative reform, rape myths and stereotypes drive decision-making, and this affects how people think, how judges think. So sometimes their opinion is not just uncalled for, it is downright humiliating. Like in 2014, when a Canadian judge asked a woman in a rape case why she couldn't, quote unquote, keep her legs together. This is what a judge said. Such opinions can change the course of a victim's life. Globally, about 1 in 3 women have been subjected to sexual violence, yet the consequences overwhelmingly fall on the victims. Study after study says so. 33 to 65% women who have been assaulted develop PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. 82% develop anxiety. Between 13 and 51% become depressed. And 2 to 19% attempt suicide. Who is looking out for these victims? One doesn't blame a victim for provoking their murder. One looks at the evidence. So why is that not the case for victims of sexual assault? Misogyny does not even begin to explain what's happening in our courts. It seems like sexual assault has become the easiest of crimes.
Oh, bottle service.
See, we got all these women over there, they're in an uproar and they're mourning because there's no justice. Now, we all know there's a lot of aspects that go in this, like how many of these are really rape, how many of these are false allegations, so on and so forth. But nonetheless, all right, you got a bunch of women mourning because they're not getting any justice for being so-called molested or harassed. And see, that goes into Proverbs, I believe it's 29. Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And why are the people mourning? Because according to Isaiah 10:1, all right, we got woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, these judges over there in Italy. It said, and right grievousness which they have prescribed. Because just on the principle of it, this is a grievous thing. No matter if she's, I won't say no matter, I won't say that. This is grievous just from the mere standpoint of the fact that you can be groping on a woman who is betrothed to another man. And even though, let's just say it happens that she's not betrothed to another man, the mere fact that that's a possibility, there should be some type of justice for the women who have experienced such a thing. And now, since these judges are making rulings that deny these women of any type of satisfaction for a crime, the people who do these things, the men that do these things, are becoming more emboldened. And this is why I mentioned earlier in the video, this is why the time is coming where many of you women are going to need a man of the Lord. And that's why it says, where there is no hedge, there the possession is spoiled. I believe that's Ecclesiastes 30, is that 36 or 39? Yeah. Ecclesiastes 36 and 25. It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. And we're in the time where many of these women, in the Western world especially, they're walking around talking about, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need a man, I can dress however the way I want to. Yeah, but those types of things come with consequences. Even if you are dressed modest and minding your own business and you're doing something for your husband going to the store, okay? You women out here have to realize what time we are in. We are not in any type of happy-go-lucky time. We are not in a Brady Bunch era. All right, we're in the time where it's spoken of in Matthew, the 24th chapter, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many is waxing cold. And because of that, as the scripture says, I think it's in Matthew or Colossians 4 and 5. No, let me put it on pause and find it real quick. All right, here it is, Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Let's get that word circumspectly. We do it. I know we've gotten that word a lot, but let's go back into it again. Okay, that's Ephesians 5. What was that, 15?
Strong's G 199. Akribos. Akribos.
Akribos. It says exactly, accurately, diligently. Okay? And how does one walk accurately? By following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. That's why King David, I believe it's in one of his Psalms, it might be 119, I'm not sure. But he told the Lord, all right, he prayed that the Lord will order his steps according to the Lord's word. Okay, so this is how we may remain circumspect, by being occupied in what the Bible tells us. And it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, buying back the time, buying things that there was lost. Because you have to remember, for so many years, we weren't in this truth. And now that you know the truth, okay, you got to catch up. It says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right, women? You all have to walk circumspectly, because these final days are going to be the most evil in the entire human history. That's why the scripture says a time like never before. And if you have men like this who are so wicked and comfortable in passing laws that deprive women of any type of justice because they've been harassed, what other laws do you think that they're going to pass? What do you think is going to happen when they allow complete lawlessness to take place? This is why I'm telling you women out there, and I've been doing a lot of videos about women, and many brothers have also been doing a lot of videos about women, because we see the judgment has been getting turned up on you all. Walk circumspectly. The days are evil. Get right with the Lord. Pray, have faith that he will send you a man of the Lord. So, as the scriptures say, you'll have a covert for the storm. Because when this evil day comes, any woman that's an Israelite that does not have a man of the Lord protecting them, it's going to get very bad for you. So that's all I want to say on this. Hope you all ratified. To the next time, we're going to say Shalom.